Hi, this is Jennifer with I Report News, and I'm here with George H. Russell, and we are here in front of your green cemetery, correct?
Actually, we're in the world's first green family cemetery.
We are in the green family cemetery.
Okay, here's what happened. In 1998, we purchased land because since 1968, I have had the dream of creating a green cemetery.
Who is we when you refer to we?
We, well, my parents and my family. In other words, our family was purchasing land. Right. My wife and I actually purchased the property that we hoped to have the cemetery in. What we discovered in 1998 or 1999 is because of wave action, since it was on the shore, that we were losing, a few feet every year to erosion. So I said to myself, not a good thing if somebody buries somebody, 20 feet from shore and 5 years from then, some floating. Bones are sticking out. Not the best place for the cemetery.
Right.
So in the year 2000, my parents specifically purchased this tract, it's 81 acres, to be a safe place for a green cemetery. And one where it'd be easy to get to graves to bury. There are 3.5 miles of trails that go through the cemetery. So in 1999, before this was even bought, I started purchasing URLs, that is web names, and researching about how one can build both a green cemetery and have sky burial.
Which is all completely legal, everything, making sure you're covering your own.
Well, right, but no one knew because it's never happened in Texas before. So when you're the first guy in the whole state, in fact in the whole world, to create a green family cemetery, there's a whole lot of bureaucracy to go through. And so I had to use my state representative, Dan Ellis, to have him make inquiries when I reached log jams and stuff. So then in 2000, we bought this property for the cemetery, and we purchased a number of other URLs like Athenian Cemetery and Wilderness Cemetery, etc., to get this thing off the ground. And because of all the bureaucratic hurdles and stuff, before it was formally established, because we had to go through Natural Area Preservation Association, we had to get their board to agree, even after we knew that it was legal, etc., etc. Right. It wasn't until 2003 when it was, finally completely legally established and the papers on file in the courthouse. Well, we didn't even know about SHECO's goofy plans for an unnecessary transmission line until 2003. So they're going to say that I established the cemetery at the same time I found out you can't establish a cemetery overnight, just like you can't build a transmission line overnight. Right. This is 2007. They still haven't built their stupid power line.
And this has already been, 4 years?
Yeah,
They've been working on
so
this.
It was 3 years since I bought the property for the cemetery before we even knew about SHECO's nonsense. So that's pure, unadulterated bullshit.
Which is all in the courthouse, the county records, where anyone can go look up to say that it's been here since then.
And they had, I'm almost positive that I sent them copies of the URLs and when those URLs were established. And, the documentation speaks for itself.
Right.
This cemetery was on its way to being completed
way
before anybody knew. And the other thing is Colonel Zimmerman, one of the world's foremost attorneys, who is the chairman of the Waterwood Improvement Association, representing about, 1,500 citizens out here, testified that he had spoken with me about establishing a cemetery well before we knew anything about SHECO's plans. Because I tell the people out here what I'm planning and what I'm doing. I have lots of sanctuaries that aren't established yet formally because it's a tedious bureaucratic process. So I'm really sick and tired of these lies and the denigration of my character. And in my opinion, by dissing me as being some just hillbilly yokel out here with no credentials, to me that's slander. And I don't like to be slandered.